Would you be my? It's the done. I still got a lot of shit to learn, I'll admit it. It's the done. I still got a lot of shit to learn.
Hello and welcome to Fyreon again.
Hello again.
This is your guide to tree marking since I suck at it, so I sought the wisdom of you.
Yeah, I've marked some things, sure. So.
You marked a lot of things, Fyreon. Be there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many, but there's quite a few. I marked pretty much every tier 10 that I own. Only there's like 3 or 4 left to do, I think.
Yeah. So
Other
what are
ones
you
are
gonna
left.
do here? You're gonna do you're on 907?
Yeah, I'm in the 907. It's Erlenberg Assault. The map is called it's called Erlenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're attacking. Well, I'm just taking an aggressive position up 9-0 line to counter like their hill. This seems to be like this kind of the meta nowadays on this map, where you, as attacker, go to this side and just prevent them from taking the 9-0 line.
Yeah.
And then they're just stuck in a fourth of the map if you take this.
Is this only for tree marking, or would you do this at any game?
I would do this in any game. Like it's a very well, it kind of depends on the matchmaking. Like now there's also no RT, but in general I don't alter my play style compared to like regular play, so to say, or when I'm going for a tree mark.
No.
I don't think changing your playstyle will benefit you in the long run if you go for marks. Sure, it will help with the occasional game, I guess. If you get to say like a lot of tracking and spotting. But I think it's better to stick with the stuff that you know.
Assist does count well towards the marks, for sure.
Yeah, sure. It's the same as damage, really, so it doesn't really matter if you do the damage or if you nades to the damage.
So at least you would never try to camp a mark. That doesn't really pay off.
No, of course not. There's only so much you can do with camping.
Yeah.
I mean, then you rely on your own team to make the plays. Well, I generally think that you can get more out of the game if you play aggressive yourself, if you make opportunities for yourself.
Quite a good team here. They actually spread up quite well and put some pressure on.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, what the defenders did wrong in this game is they never contested the 9-0 line.
Yeah.
The thing is, they tried. The Leo tried to go 0 line, but he was on his own. And yeah, 907 got sold down versus the Leo is not really a fair fight.
No, not really. It is a bit OP.
Yep. But I don't think it's that OP. Certainly a good tank though. But yeah, now you can see like the mouse is trying to push, but he just got killed, and now the i7 is trying something, but it's already too late.
Yeah, they're
Like-
5k behind, so...
Yeah, I have plenty of stuff behind me as well. That's why I could make this play, because I had enough support.
That's quite an aggressive position.
Yes,
I think at least.
it is. And you can only make it work if you have some backup, otherwise you will die. Because if they realize that you're alone there, you will get rushed at one point.
Yeah, definitely. So for tree marking, you need to be definitely not in the back, and you need to
Well,
be able to
like you
get...
need to be in the right positions. Like sometimes that might be at the back, sure,
Yeah,
but in general, I think you want to be somewhere in the front lines, just so you can create like opportunities for yourself where you can do damage, like I do this
Yeah.
game. Like I went to aggressive position 9-0 line, which is a very good position for the 907 because I'm hull down. And
yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely working, for sure.
I mean I already picked up 5k damage, and the game is not even close to being over.
I did notice you don't overextend though, which I would have been not
Yeah.
forced to, but probably would have done at some point to be greedy.
Yeah, sure, it's really easy to be greedy, but that's the thing that I guess like is key to tree marking tanks: consistency.
Yeah. Try and get the good games going, minimize the bad games.
Yeah, and also know to recognize when it's the right opportunity to go forward and to be aggressive, which I'm doing now.
If you have bad games in a row and you start tilting, would you stop the tree mark or do something else, or would you just press through?
It depends. I've done both. In general, I'd say it's better to stop. If you get tilt,
Yeah.
then you will only start to play worse and you only drop more. I mean, I definitely had cases where I played with tilt and kept playing, which made it even worse.
I personally dropped 8% that evening because I was stubborn and tilted.
Yep.
That was not the smartest.
No, I still remember my M60 mark.
Yeah.
I got to 94.98, and then, well, I had a shit game, didn't get the mark. Then I played 3 or 4 more and dropped to 91.
M60 also made Darky 5 years older in a month.
Yeah, he
Kappa.
he played that quite a bit.
Yes. He didn't really enjoy it like you did, or something.
Well, enjoying, I don't know. It can be a frustrating experience, and the M60 was a frustrating experience for sure, since it was super hard.
So you managed to point 8.1k out at
Yeah.
730 assists. So that was pretty good for the gun mark, I would reckon.
Yeah, for sure. This is like 9k combined. That will surely give you like a percent, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe more in a different tank, but that depends on the requirements, of course.
If you should give the 5 best pieces of advice you would have, what would that be?
The best 5 pieces of advice. Well,
or rules. We can call them rules.
Guidelines.
Guidelines, yeah.
Well, first of all, like this is kind of trivial, but I still think it should be mentioned. First of all, like tank crew setup. Yeah, so make sure you have proper crews in your tanks. Like the more skills they have, generally, the better your tank will perform. Say you have like full firefighting on your tank, you can run through it. Or well, the risk of getting set on fire is reduced.
Jack of all trades you can also use if
Yep,
you have enough.
for example.
Yeah.
Or like full repairs via camouflage. And then of course like what kind of modules you mount on your tank, like what kind of equipment.
Would you always set them up to be aggressive, or
Generally how I
TDs,
kit out
I
my
guess?
tanks is I go for max DPM/gun handling setups really.
Yeah.
On my tier 10s. On tier 9, etc., I might consider, for example, optics. But in general, on tier 10, I always run events, first steps, rammer. Plus, I run food as well on every tier 10 tank. But yeah, like for example, an STRV, a 103B would be an exception. That's why, for example, run cabinet and binos.
Yeah, it makes good sense.
This works for me. I'm not like you need to figure out for yourself what works best for you.
And
But
the
yeah,
second
yeah, the
guide,
second.
right? Yeah.
Well, that would be the right mindset. So what you said earlier as well, would you play on tilt? Well, yeah, sure, I do sometimes, but in general, like you need to have the right mindset. I mean, if you play on tilt, it's so much easier to make big mistakes, overextend, etc., etc.
Don't start tree marking if you already tilted before you open the game, at least.
Oh
That
yeah,
would be a good idea.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, but having the right mindset, like it's a bit of a broad thing to say, or a broad thing to say. But it's really important. I mean, or important. If you don't have the right mindset, if you play on tilt, then you won't have much fun or will make much progress with marking. And then thirdly, I would say, well, get assist, spot slash tracking damage. Yeah, so the way like marks work is I believe this is how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like your damage plus the maximum of either spotting or the maximum of both spotting and tracking.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I'm not absolutely 100% sure though.
No, me neither, but I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Anyway, so say you have like there's a situation where it's like one mouse left on the enemy team and he is still full HP. You could either do one shot of damage, for example, or you could track him and get 3k assistance.
Yeah, definitely go for the track then.
So you could argue that, yeah, exactly. So, like in some situations, it might be better, especially if you go for marks to track someone instead of just doing damage,
Yes.
and preferably, well, you do both. So that's also what we saw in the replay. Like, although I didn't get much assistance out of that.
No, not
But,
really.
no, but that could be a position where you would also get like a lot of tracking slash spotting damage, since like you're on the side of enemy tanks. And then, well, closely following it, I guess, or related to it, it's like controlled aggression. I mean, that's I guess the key to playing well in this game. Like
Yeah.
controlled aggression, what I guess mean with that is you want to be at the front, because if you're not at the front, or if you're not like in key positions where you can influence the game, then I think your damage output will be significantly lower than if you were to like play second line or even camp at the back. But yeah, that doesn't mean that you should always go super front line. Like it's like you should also recognize the times when you need to fall back, when you need to relocate, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's very hard to learn though, but it looks
Yes, but
easy when you do it.
well,
it
maybe.
it also fails for you. I saw that on stream. So.
Sure, of course. Consistency is the hardest thing in this game,
Yes.
but it's something that you want to strive for in a way. If you want to get marked.
And the fifth guide, Fyreon, I've been looking forward to this. You will explain
Yeah,
this for us?
so 25% RNG. You will have bad games.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start marking a tank, and especially if you try to mark the harder tanks out there, like you just have to take into account that this game does have 25% RNG, which means that you will get high rolled sometimes and die, that you will get set on fire, etc., etc., that you will notice the downsides of RNG. And
And forget the
you,
upsides.
yeah, well, those are there as well, but you
Yeah,
always
yeah.
remember
The bad things
bad
are
things,
easier to
right?
remember. Yes.
But yeah, so 25% RNG will screw you over at times.
Yes,
So
definitely.
then that's kind of related to point two as well, right mindset. Like you should just accept it right from the start and not let it influence you that much.
So internally mean just brush it off your shoulders and go forward. Yes?
Yeah, well, it's easy
Each.
to say, but
Of course.
yeah. And like you will have bad games. I mean, there will also be times where your team is, well, your team is so bad compared to the enemy team that it will just be a 15-0 ruffle stomp and you won't get any damage. Or
Yeah.
you personally make a mistake, like you overcommit, like, or like because of other reasons, I don't know. You will get bad games that will set you back. There is really, it's super rare, I think, to mark a tank like without any setbacks whatsoever. But yeah, you just have to accept that, or from the start. And I guess if you accept it, like, or that you know it will happen, then it will, well, I guess benefit you in the long run when it comes to your mindset.
What I tend to do is, this is probably not what you do, but up to like the second gun mark at least, I would play long sessions because it's not that hard to get the second gun mark for most parts, but when I turn to the third gun mark, I'll try and make shorter sessions and make sure that I'm fully focused at the sessions. And as
Yeah,
soon as
sure.
I feel it starts to slide, I'm gonna do something else.
Yeah, sure. That's
That's the
a
difference for
valid.
me with 2 or 3 gun marks at least.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like of course, like you need to work out what works for yourself. Like I like for the last part of the gun marks, so to say, if you go from like 2 to 3, is a lot harder than say from 0 to 65, which is the first, or from 65 to 85.
Well, good advices here. Thanks. And the second replay here, win Fury?
Yeah. So this is again an assault game on Siegfried Line this time. I'm playing the VK, the tier 10 Clan Wars reward tank.
Yes.
Uh,
Do you actually like it?
oh yeah, I like it a lot. It's great. I think it's really comparable to the E100, but I like it a lot more compared to the E100. I think the armor profile is a lot better, and it's slightly faster.
Still think the E100 could have a little buff.
Well, it's I think one of the most balanced tier 10 tanks, just that the others are way too good.
Yeah, that's the problem. The others got over buffed.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, just speaking here to get some damage into this I7.
Yeah, because you don't really have a lot of gun depression to work with, kind of.
But it's a back-mounted turret. I think the gun depression is -7 actually on this.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's not that bad.
No,
Just the
pretty
gun
nice.
placement makes it a bit awkward. But yeah, now you see me relocating. Because there's a 140 and STV sitting in the back, and they're actually penning me since they found my weak spot.
Yeah.
And I also see that my team is going to the 9-0 line, so it's better to move to the southern part of the city and try to attack from there.
Yeah, there's always a lot of stuff in the middle of the city there.
This time there is, yes.
Oh, he pretty much ignores you. That was nice.
And I just picked up the IS-3. I think I'm actually gonna go forward here and try to kill the other IS-3 or the OHO. I get nice shots into the OHO. Now I fall back a bit.
Does it matter if it's tier 8 for the gun marks? Not really, right?
What kind of tiers you shoot, you mean?
Yeah.
Tier tanks? No, not at all. It's pure damage and pure assistance slash tracking.
So it's not a disadvantage to be tier 10 and tier 8 at least?
Nope, not at all.
No.
For experience it does, but for gun marks it doesn't. Yeah. So now I have to kind of fall back since we're losing 4-7, then I'm kind of in a crossfire.
Yeah.
If I would have stayed there.
The whole 6 line is empty. For friends at least.
Now this RU is, I don't know what he is doing, but I think he apparently thinks he can fight a tier 10 super heavy.
Is he shooting in the turret actually? It looked like he hit you on the turret.
Yes, or his side. No, sadly I can't pick up this IS-3. I really need to get to kill some people here because, well, it's 5-8, and if I want to win this game I need to kill guns. And
well,
the
thanks for
IS-3
peeking.
does exactly that.
Yes. Well, you never know if you're gonna bounce, huh?
That is true. IS-3 is going to bounce up ridiculous shells.
It's basically the way he chose to angle that one. Will make it almost certain that you bounce.
Yeah. Now I see S1.
Yes.
I actually, when I played this game, I said high roll please on stream, and well, guess what?
You high rolled.
Yes, I rolled for 763, which is slightly higher than average, since the average damage on this gun is 750.
You already did 3 mark this one now, right?
No, this is one of the few tier 10s that I still have to 3 mark.
Oh, so they can watch the 3 marking on your stream live?
Maybe. I already struggled quite a lot with getting the 2nd mark only, so
yeah,
it's a very hard tank to 3 mark right now.
Because of the speed, or
just because of the requirements being super high for this?
Yeah. Do you know where you have to be about to get the 3rd mark?
Apparently someone said 5.5k, but I think it's slightly higher.
Oh, really?
Yes, my current stats are like 4.5k average damage plus, I don't know, some assistance.
Some assist, yeah.
And that's only good for 2 marks. So I don't know, maybe it's true. I wouldn't really know.
Well, it's not that fast, so it's kind of situational and also a little bit of map dependent, and if the teams are too fast, you're pretty screwed.
Yeah, like, of course, Ruffle Stumps, like, Rayer team.
Yeah.
Generally tends to win quite quickly, is not very good for your damage output, so to say.
Do you always 3 mark alone, or do you platoon also?
Generally I 3 mark alone, because I think it's... Well, I like to get it as a solo achievement.
There is of course no rules about how you 3 mark, let's make that clear.
Of course not.
No official rules.
But I think generally the marks are have more meaning to me, so to say. If I 3-mark them alone, it's the hardest. Well, if you play solo, like the game is at its hardest, so to say, or toughest.
So you still have that one and party. Oh,
well. So is that? They actually bounced them with the previous shot, or like only tracked them, I think.
It has pretty good accuracy, huh? Oh, and they totally ignored you, those guys.
Yep.
That's nice.
Boom.
And we only have the RHM left, and he's.
I should have actually kept loading HE here. I switched to AP for some reason.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter though. I mean, let's go for a bit of run speed.
And you got him. Well, that was nice.
Yeah, it was like a very good game.
So you got 8.3 and 900 assists. So.
Yep, 8 kills as well. Although that really doesn't count towards the marks.
No.
Yeah, this is a very good game again for marks.
I really thought you were screwed halfway when the team totally lost the left flank.
Yeah, we lost like the northern part of the map, but well, we still managed to come back. I mean, they didn't really play it really well towards the end.
No, definitely not.
Like, I guess our team kind of stuck together. Like, they were able to cover each other.
Yeah.
So that allowed us to kill some more people. And I think also towards the end, we still had. Well, I was still alive, and we had a batch that was still alive. And they lost. Well, they only had like a 400 HP, 140 left. Their I7 was already dead.
Yeah.
So Tier 10s in the end game are very powerful against Tier 8 and Tier 9s, obviously.
We should say this is the first part. There will be a second part about the last 10%.
Yes, there will be one.
Yes. So we'll see you there.
English one or the Russian one, but man pulled up in the German one. 2 4 4s in a 4-door truck. There's one on the right, on the left. There's one. We don't wait for the